Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckle Show, where we take a bite out of the movie, literally. And for today's video, we thought of something completely different. This time, we're not gonna even sink our teeth into one single franchise. No, we're taking on two at one time, and we're going to try and think for reasons whether Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings is actually the better franchise.
We have 5 categories on this. First one is the characters. The second one is the storylines, the actual plot of the movies. The third one is the special effects. And the fourth is definitely the sequels.
Okay.
But we have a fifth rotating one. So for every 2 franchises that we cover, we pick a different topic. And obviously, for this one, it's got to be the villains. I mean, Voldy and Sauron, the movies can't exist without them. So, Porky.
Yes.
What do you think of the characters? Harry Potter first.
The characters, these are so difficult to choose because I think both franchises have so great characters. But if I have to compare them directly, even though Gollum is one of the best characters ever conceived on screen, I think I would have to go with Harry Potter.
Why?
Because I love the way that loads of these characters progress, even though some of the sequels cannot hold up the quality of the first few movies. I think they have made a great, tremendous effort to find charismatic and awesome actors. I mean, we have the great Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, who is still one of the best actors that Hollywood has ever gotten, who I respect to this day. I even think that Daniel Radcliffe is a cool actor. I mean, I just saw him in Guns Akimbo, and holy freaking hell, no one can be cooler than Daniel Radcliffe if he wants to do that.
I disagree. I think because, you know, Harry Potter's the main character, but Hermione is a stronger character in the whole franchise.
Yes, but she's also a main character.
But she's not the main character. But Frodo is the main character here, even though Aragorn is really, really strong in the whole franchise. And he gets stronger and stronger. Everything is based around Frodo's strength to not yield to the power of the ring. And this is so important. It's like Frodo is always there providing strength to all of the other characters. Whereas Harry Potter needs support and needs strength. This is just,
and this is actually why I chose Harry Potter above Lord of the Rings, because he needs strength and other characters provide strength. Of course, there are characters in Harry Potter that you like more or less, but there is not a single character where I say, oh my god, you're such a useless waste of celluloid, please move away. And in the Lord of the Rings, there is an entire subplot with the elves that can just go die and drown in a sewer. There is the whole part about the tree things that can go burn in a bushfire.
Right.
These are wasted hours of my time that I think do not have the depth and strength of all the other characters. Of course, I love Frodo.
Frodo's character is better than Harry Potter as a character.
I love Aragorn. Wow. I love Legolas. I love most of them, but there are so many annoying characters.
So who's gonna get the point for you?
For me, it's Harry Potter.
For me, it's Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Right. Next one then. The storyline. What do you think? How do you think the storyline progresses? Is it strong enough to have your attention throughout the whole span of the franchise?
This is hard. This is actually hard to say because both franchises have a great story and manage to butcher it all the way through. Because in the last Harry Potter movie, spoilers by the way, when they find out that fact that the last Horcrux is hidden inside of you. Oh, come on. That was a cheap move. But in the Lord of the Rings franchise, for instance, there is, oh wait, there are these eagles.
Yeah, but that's that's not the storyline. It's not part of the storyline.
No, this thing destroys the whole story for me.
I think the storyline throughout Lord of the Rings is so much better because Harry Potter 5 and 6 are a drag.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
Come on. 7 is dark. Fine, we get the concept. Voldemort is back. But the third, Return of the King, is better than the last finale of Harry Potter. Hands down. You cannot touch it. Because this is phenomenal. It brings everything together. First one, Fellowship of the Ring, sets the scene a bit slow. Whereas Harry Potter ends really, really slowly. Really slow. The ending of Harry Potter left a bitter taste in my mouth. Whereas, I think, for me, Lord of the Rings gets the point. For you, who gets the point? Who gets the point?
It's rather difficult, because here I'm looking at 3 films, not The Hobbit, only The Lord of the Rings. I think they're about as long as all 8 Harry Potter films combined, even though the Harry Potter films are still kind of long. And I have to make the point that both franchises, even though Lord of the Rings was shot back to back, go downhill at some point. Lord of the Rings has great scenes, has great battles, has great things, great
consistency.
No, it does not. Because every one of these films has at least 1 or 2 subplots that had me about as interested in saying that someone kicked over a sack of rice in China.
So your point goes to Harry Potter.
My point really goes to Harry Potter again, because there were so many backstories with the mirror, with the family, with Snape's background, with
but then if you watch The Hobbit, the backstories are there as well.
So many things that really kept me interesting. Of course, the later Harry Potter movies, they do have some boring bits, but if we take the entire running time and deduct the time that we were annoyed or bored, the quota is better for Harry Potter than for Lord of the Rings.
Give it to Harry Potter.
I give it.
So it's still 2-2 each.
2.
So special effects. Which movie relevant to that time has the better effects? Relevant to that time.
Holy Christ!
We can't compare an 80s movie to now and say the effects are completely different. Relevant to that time. Which movie had a better...
They were practically made at the same time.
Exactly.
And the thing is, I just remember this one bit about Harry Potter 4 where the special effects were so bad that the actors don't even look in the real direction where the special effects were happening. Like, holy hell, in editing, just flip the freaking image and you can create something better. This time, I will go with Peter frickin' Jackson because he is a maestro of special effects. If you look at his old stuff, like Bad Taste or Brain Dead for that matter, he can make special effects work. And the thing is, there are a few scenes, especially the CGI shots, that are a bit dated, but they are in both franchises. However, you can see with the Lord of the Rings, even though it was a $200 to $300 million project, they tried to make as much as humanly possible with practical effects.
Well,
and you had
orcs being
you
made
had
up,
Weta Digital working on these effects. You had so many awesome props and costumes. So in this sense, even though Harry Potter movies look decent,
I mean,
this is a no-brainer. This goes to Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings would take it, but the ending of Return of the King, well, just before the ending when they marched to the Black Gate, I thought those special effects were not cool. I
think they were running out of money.
Maybe. They were not good. And for that reason, because the ending of Harry Potter, the Battle of Hogwarts, is phenomenal with their special effects. And that is why Harry Potter gets the point for me.
Really?
Harry Potter gets the point.
Okay, so it's 2-1 for both.
Sequels now. Right. How did the progression go?
This is easy.
This is easy.
Harry Potter is not one story told continuously. It was not planned out. I mean, there are the stories that J.K. Rowling, when they started filming the first movie, even had the story for the 7th one in her head, and even told...
She had the ending,
told Alan Rickman about the true intention of his character, so you can feel, and this is something that I admire about the Harry Potter films, that even though there are things that you can see in the movie or can't read at the time, you know that they're there. There is a plan for all of this. And J.K. Rowling made this masterfully. But then, she done screwed it up with bullcrap such as the Horcrux in Harry Potter.
Complete nonsense.
This is just tripe. This is just okay.
Plot twist!
How
Let's see
can
what
we
happens now.
add
Get
one
the
more
conspiracists
bit
on
of
board.
conflict
Yeah,
into
this
that
was
last bit? No.
trying a desperate attempt to have a plot twist. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings had a very consistent story.
Yes.
You knew what you were aiming for and how it was being built up. And for this reason, my point goes to Lord of the Rings. Where does your point go?
Mine too.
Right, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
So, this
the
is
last one,
the first,
villain,
the
villain,
first comparison
the villain.
video that we're doing, and it's a draw. But we have the last
We have the last one, the villain. The villain. It's Voldemort with Sauron. I will give it to Harry Potter, hands down. Voldemort is a phenomenal villain, and his character development is brilliant. Hands down, superb. How he comes back to life, how he creates a body form. Sauron, I thought they should have made him stronger, but they didn't. Not bring him back to life, because that's not the point. It's the evil eye, but maybe have more of an influence. This is, I think, Voldemort had a massive influence at the end. The villain got weaker and weaker. But the good people did not get stronger. This was the point. The villain got weaker, the good did not get stronger, whereas Harry Potter got really, really weak in the end, and Voldemort got stronger and stronger until there was a plot twist.
This is one of the hardest things I ever had to decide, because the thing is, we cannot only look at the one villain, you also have to take into account the minions that this villain has.
Sure.
And if you have a villain such as Saruman, played by the immensely awesome Christopher Lee, then this is hard to decide against him. However, I will do so. I will do so because even though the orcs and Uruk-hai and Saruman are such great characters, I think that while Sauron is described as this godlike beast, he doesn't have a lot of personality in the movies. He's just the all-inherent evil, the all-seeing eye.
That's
literally.
It. And they didn't make his being presence stronger.
And there is a bit of backstory, but I think that what J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter did very, very nicely is to give the villain a very dramatic, very human, very relative backstory.
Absolutely.
With Tom Riddle. And I still remember to this day the finale of Harry Potter 2, which was incredible.
Right.
And then you have Voldemort being played by Ralph Fiennes, a very Fiennes actor. And it was just an amazing character, an amazing performance. And even though Sauron is also a great villain, this has to go to Voldemort.
It's got to go to Voldemort. And I think...
This is it.
And on that...
This is it.
Harry Potter.
So we have decided.
Harry Potter.
It's 2 against 3 for both of us. And Harry Potter wins.
Harry Potter wins. All right.
That was unexpected. Well, what do you think about the two franchises? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. Tell us which one of these franchises, for whatever reasons, you would prefer. Tell us that we are both idiots. We have heard that before. But most importantly, if you want to see us rambling some more about other franchises, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, to make sure you're notified whenever we put up more videos just like this. Tell us your opinion in the comment section below. And most importantly, we'll see you guys again on the next Pork and Knuckles show.
Take care.